we got some rather sad news for the boxing world, and a lot of boxing fans all over the world might know this guy, especially older boxing fans. Former heavyweight champion Leon Spinks died yesterday at the age of 67. He died of cancer, of prostate cancer and other cancers that he has been battling for 5 years. And he died with his wife by his side. His wife's name was Brenda Glur Spinks. And I mean, let me tell you something. In case people don't know who Leon Spinks is, Leon Spinks was. I was pretty sad when I heard this news because I know who Leon Spinks is. In case you guys don't know, Leon Spinks upsetted Muhammad Ali and won the heavyweight championship. That's something right there. When you upset when you pull an upset on Muhammad Ali, that is something right there. And I know it was a little later in Muhammad Ali's career, but Leon Spinks still pulled up a great upset against one of the greatest boxers to ever live. And I remember Leon Spinks because he had like the gap in his teeth. He had like a huge gap in his teeth, and he was always. But the one thing I remember him for was his power. Leon Spinks had insane power, and he won the heavyweight championship, but then later on losing it to another heavyweight great in Larry Holmes. So I'm just going to read off his record to you right now. So his record as a boxer is 26 wins, 17 losses, and 3 draws. 26 of those wins came from knockout. So guys that he has beaten, well-known fighters at that. Eddie Curry, he beat Jack Jackson, Ken Bentley, and obviously his notable win, Muhammad Ali. So you know what, Nate? Before I say anything else about Leon Spinks, I just want to take a moment of silence. Thank you. Yeah, so Leon Spinks, the most notable moment in his career was when he beat Muhammad Ali. He beat him by unanimous decision, and it was a pretty big upset because at the time Muhammad Ali was heavyweight champion, and again, it's like this bigger than life figure. You know what I'm saying? Like him beating Ali right now is like the equivalent. I mean, is right now is like the equivalent of like McGregor. You know what I'm saying? Like he's beatable, but like when he gets beat, you're shocked. You know what I'm saying? When McGregor gets beat, we're all shocked. When um when Muhammad Ali got beat, everybody gets shocked. And Muhammad Ali, he lost to Leon Spinks, and Leon Spinks, that will always be the highlight of his career. But the next fight later, he didn't he ended up going to a title defense, and he lost to Larry Holmes. And Larry Holmes is a great boxer too. Larry Holmes ended up beating Muhammad Ali as well. And that's when kind of like the heavyweight division kind of shifted. It went from Ali past his prime to Leon Spinks and Larry Holmes, and then Trevor Burpick came along and won, and then the next great came along and said, "This is my division now," and his name is Mike Tyson. And that kind of shit. Those 3 guys right there, Holmes, Spinks, and Burpick, were the 3 guys that kind of take over the heavyweight division for a little bit until Tyson came along and just swooped everybody. So Leon Spinks, I mean, never got to fight Mike Tyson. After he lost to Larry Holmes, his career kind of took a little bit of a downfall, and he just decided to retire. But I mean, there's not a lot of bad things I can say about Leon Spinks. You know what I'm saying? Like his record doesn't say a lot, but that one win against Muhammad Ali will always be the highlight of his career. And he has fought some memorable Hall of Fame heavyweights like Ali, like Larry Holmes. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is sad to see a boxer like that pass away after knowing the history behind him and all the little bit of that he's accomplished. But that little bit is so big. You know what I'm saying? Like not many fighters got to say they got to beat Muhammad Ali. And for him to have that on his record, I feel like despite what his record says, that will always be something that he could always hold in his heart and his family could keep in memory. And so with that being said, may he rest in peace and condolences to his family.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really know Leon Spinks that well, but the only reason why I know him somewhat is because of what he did to Ali. I mean, that was one of the biggest upsets in boxing at the time, and even now it's still one of the bigger upsets that we've ever seen. Like you said, he's a great fighter, great power. I mean, 20 was he 26 and 17? You said.
Yeah, and I just want to correct one thing. He beat Muhammad Ali by split decision, not unanimous decision. But they had a rematch, and Muhammad Ali beat him by unanimous decision.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like you said, you're absolutely right. Muhammad Ali didn't lose all that much, but when he did, not only was it shocking, but to the one that beat him, that was something to hold on dearly to because, Muhammad Ali was on top of the boxing world. There was no, like you said before the biggest, the baddest man in the world, Mike Tyson, came in and swooped in the boxing world by surprise. There was no one touching Muhammad Ali. It was as simple as that. Muhammad Ali was the gold standard of boxing at the time before Mike Tyson came in and just took the boxing world by storm. And for Leon Spinks to take out the gold standard of boxing is just it's an absolutely incredible feat. He didn't knock him out, but he still beat him. A
Right,
victory is a victory no matter how you do it. I mean,
right. And
that's
despite
how
him,
you want to put it.
right, and despite him never avenging that, because they did have the rematch and Ali beat him, but despite him never avenging that loss or never having the third fight, that win on against Muhammad Ali will always be on your record, and that's
Absolutely.
really, and as a boxer, it's something you should really cherish if you have Muhammad Ali. And a lot of fighters who fought Muhammad Ali, they really they looked up to him too, and they didn't want to beat him, but it's part of boxing, it's you or him. And so with that being said, I mean, Leon Spinks again, the record doesn't say a lot, you know what I'm saying? But that one win against Muhammad Ali is something that you could really is something that is so important and so significant because you can finally tell your kids and your grandkids, I beat the
Muhammad Ali.
late great Muhammad Ali and made his soul
Absolutely.
rest as well. But we're here to talk about Leon Spinks, and I mean, he was a former WBC heavyweight champion, former WBA heavyweight champion when he beat Muhammad Ali. And then he obviously lost it to Muhammad Ali. But you know what? His legacy shouldn't just be about Muhammad Ali. He was a hard puncher. If you guys don't know a lot about him, you should go look him up because he was a hard puncher. Leon
Mm,
Spinks had a packed a punch to him. And so with that being said, I mean, may his soul rest in peace and condolences out to Leon Spinks and his family.
absolutely. Rest in peace to Leon Spinks. May his soul rest in peace. Condolences to all his family and friends.